Okay, this video is an addition to the first video, which is going to show you how to calculate as a percentage the difference in amplitudes between the different harmonics. Okay, so coming down to the sheet that we have, the harmonic content of waveform sheet, what we're being asked for is to give the amplitude of each of the harmonics as a percentage of the fundamental. Okay, now the fundamental amplitude is always going to be 100%. Okay, it's the highest highest amplitude out of all the harmonics. So first thing you should do is note down all these as 100%. Okay, and then we're going to find out what the difference is between harmonic 2 in the fundamental, harmonic 3 in the fundamental, harmonic 4 in the fundamental, and so on for the rest, noting down those values as percentages. Okay, so let's have a look at how that's done. We need to take a look at this equation here. All right, this equation here. The equation reads as 10 to the power of the decibel difference divided by 20. Alright, now that looks like it could be slightly complicated, but it's actually not too bad if you take it in the correct steps. The brackets in maths simply mean do me first. Okay, so the first sum that we'll need to do is the decibel difference value divided by 20. Okay, so in this example I've said in the instance of a -6 decibels difference, if I come back to logic, I've got a frozen capture of sawtooth waveform. I'm going to zoom in on the first 3 harmonics. Okay, and let's take a look at this. The amplitude is down here on the left hand side. This value here, the fundamental, is probably at a value of -24 decibels. Okay, looking to the second harmonic, that's at a value of -30 decibels. So the difference between these two is -6 decibels. Okay, because we're going down. And we're going down the scale here into minus figures, so from -24 to -30, that's -6. Okay, so going back to the equation, this is what I've used in the example, -6. So we replace this decibel difference phrase with what we've just worked out there, -6 decibels, and divide that by 20. So then what we end up with is that we need to do 10 to the power of -0.3, because the answer to -6 divided by 20 is -0.3. So the new sum is 10 to the power of -0.3, and the answer to that is 0.5. How do I work that out? Well, if I go back to Chrome and open up this other tab, in Google, you can basically type in scientific calculator and it gives you a scientific calculator, which is great. Okay, so if you remember, what we're needing to do is 10 to the power of -0.3, and that's done like this. Enter the number 10, then we press this button down here, x to the y. That means whatever you typed in to the power of what you're going to type in next. So x to the y. And it was -0.3, and then we press the equals sign, and that gives us 0.5 and a whole bunch of numbers here. I just want you to round it up to the first 2. Okay, so in this case it's 0.50. Alright, to make that into a percentage, we just multiply it by 100. And there we go, 50.118723, blah blah blah, 50% basically. Yeah, 50%. So we go back to our, if I can actually find it again, where are you? You're here. Go back to the sawtooth and say that the first harmonic is 50%. Okay, let's just do that one more time, and we'll do it for the third harmonic this time. So if I go back to logic, this is the third harmonic here. Now remember, we're doing it, there's the difference between that harmonic and the fundamental. So the fundamental was at -24. This one seems to be at -34, maybe -34.5, but let's just say -34 to make it easier. So then the difference between that and that is minus 10 decibels. Okay, so going back to our part here, minus, this time it will be minus 10 in this box here instead of minus 6. So let's change that up. Minus 10 divided by 20, well, that gives us minus 0.5. Okay, doing that in my head. So then we have to go back to the scientific calculator and do the sum 10 to the power of minus 0.5. So let's do that. Back to the scientific calculator. AC up here will clear everything. So it's 10 to the power of minus 0.5. That gives us 0.31. Multiply that by 100 to give us the percentage. 31.62277. Okay, 31% or 30% is basically it. So we can go back to our sheet here and say that the next harmonic is essentially 30%. And then we can do the same for harmonic 4, harmonic 5, harmonic 6, and so on and so forth. The whole time just using the equation that we've been given here. That will be the answer there. And then that will be there just to leave it with you in some sort of decent state. So this is the equation, and you can use the scientific calculator on Google to work that out, and then that will hopefully help you sort out the rest of the data that you need to put in the sheet and finish off the experiment. Okay, cheers.